Okay, and I'm back. So, did anybody out there in their bingo have furry riots for March 2021? Because that's kind of what's going to happen here. Let's get into it. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW
Super Dario World!
All right, we got the first look at the new Space Jam 2, and I know there's a big controversy surrounding one of the characters of the movie, and I'll get into it. I'll get into the whole thing, but I'll save it. I want to get into some other things too that were recently announced, but before we get into it, let me just give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram and at Super Dario World, streaming on YouTube and on Twitch at Super Dario World. If you want to join me, if you want to be part of the chat, Mob Nasty, thank you for joining me. I'm gonna figure out how to put the chat like right here, like right on the screen, so that you can just see it there, and it'll make my life way easier because I'm looking there a lot anyway. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting news. So well, there's a lot of DC news that I want to get into, but I'll probably save that for tomorrow because it's a lot, and I mean a lot. Burius, thank you for joining me on Twitch, and so let's get. By the way, before I kind of lost my train of thought, but streaming live Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on YouTube and on Twitch at Super Dario World. If you want to join me and be part of the chat, I might have already said that. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Like my head's all over the place right now. But anyway. Let's get into this real quick. So, it's been announced that a new anime series is in development at Netflix, and this one is about the Terminator. Now, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I kind of been talking about it a lot, that this is the new direction, guys. This is the way the industry's going. I've been talking about it quite a lot. At first, people said it was ridiculous, but the evidence just keeps piling and piling up that this is the way the industry's going. And I don't think it's a bad thing. The filmmakers have started to discover, like, hey, anime, kind of popular right now. And also, kind of easier to produce stuff. So, Danny, by the way, thank you for joining me. And so, maybe it's also cheaper to produce. Maybe people like it, and maybe we can make money out of it. So, they're going to start adapting franchises that they think could be successful in that medium. Terminator, actually, sounds like it kind of could work out. Honestly, it seems like a very solid choice because it's sci-fi, and they would save a buttload of money on special effects and stuff like that. So I think it could work. Let me read you the statement here from Tomlin, who's going to be developing the series, Mattson Tomlin, who's going to be the executive producer and co-writer. But anyway, his statement says, anyone who knows my writing knows I believe in taking big swings and going for the heart. I'm honored that Netflix and Skydance have given me the opportunity to approach Terminator in a way that breaks conventions, subvert expectations, and has real guts. Now, some things there I like. The thing that I'm not too sure about is the whole subverting expectation things, because in the last few years, subverting expectations haven't really worked out that well. Because sometimes, okay, there's nothing wrong with subverting expectations. The problem is that when they do it in a way that doesn't make sense. That's the issue. Like Game of Thrones did that. They subverted all the expectations because we expected something to be good. and then they end up giving us shit. And so they subverted the expectations. Doesn't mean it was good. Doesn't mean it was well done. So subverting expectations, kind of iffy. But the dude, I believe that from his on his resume, he was a co-writer for the Batman, and so we'll see what he can do. We'll see what he can do. And anime gives you a certain liberties that other mediums don't. So we'll see. Honestly, we'll see. Like I said, I'm excited for this direction that the industry's taken. I've been calling it for a while, and it's just like saying that I told you so. And to keep proving this, by the way, emojis, thank you for joining me. To keep proving this, another announcement was recently made, and that's that an animated version of The Great Gatsby is in the works. Now, this is not going to be a series. I believe it's going to be a movie, and they say it's an animated film, not an anime, but, animated film is just like the Western anime. I mean, it's very different style. Don't attack me right now. I get it. It's completely different styles, but like I'm saying, that this is the way the industry's going now. Out of all the titles out there, I'm not sure why Gatsby, really. I don't see anything special about Gatsby and why it would adapt itself better for this particular medium. But here's a statement from one of the producers, and here you go. Gatsby continues to cast a powerful spell over readers unlike any other book in American letters. This is, by the way, by William Joyce. I believe he's going to be one of the producers in this particular project. Much of the power of Gatsby comes from the enchantment of Fitzgerald's prose. He created a vivid dreamscape that, to some degree, has eluded filmmakers since the silent era. The previous film versions were constrained by live action, but innovative animation could finally realize the elusive quality of the novel. Now, let's kind of break that down a little. Maybe, and I mean just maybe, people like the book because of the medium that it's shown. Maybe it's not because the story is that great, which I like the story, but maybe it's not the story itself. Maybe it's the prose that you just, complimented right now. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's the writing that people like. Maybe it's Fitzgerald, kind of a talented guy. Maybe that's what people like about this particular story. But, different medium. Like I said, it gives you a lot of liberties. It gives you a lot more control. Like the beauty of animating things that you control, you have perfect picture because you're gonna anything that you want to see on screen, you're gonna show. And you have complete control over the audio design. You have complete control over the acting, more or less. You can have actors redo the lines 1,000 times, and it's not gonna be as expensive as having to reshoot the same scene. So you have a lot of advantages there. Could it be better? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. There's a point here. Danny's pointing up that he enjoys the Batman movies more than the live action ones. DC has made really good animated movies. Not all of them are better than the live action ones, but most of them are pretty good. And so there's a beauty to that particular medium for certain things. And to me, it has to be over the top stuff. Or at least I've noticed it has to be fantasy, it has to be sci-fi, or something like that. Something that's really normal, it's not the same effect. It doesn't give you that same extra oomph. It has to be something larger than life. It has to be something that a range that an actor can't reach. Like, for example, an actor can really easily play the Gatsby. Like DiCaprio did a really good job there. But seeing DiCaprio jump 3 stories and cut a dude in half, then it's CGI. It's not really the actors. There's very few actors that can do that physicality stuff. Like Henry Cavill is nailing The Witcher because the dude has been practicing nonstop with a broadsword. So some actors can do it, some actors can't. But overall, when it comes to physicality stuff or like magic and stuff, it's funny. I talked with an actress once she was in the CW show Black Lightning. And I talked to her about, her character finally got powers, and I want to know, like, what was it, because when you shoot the scene, your character doesn't have powers. So you're basically just like, and you feel silly. And she says, yeah, you're kind of, like, it feels really cool when you see it on screen, but before, when you're shooting it, you feel really stupid. You don't know what's going to happen. And that kind of, it takes a spot in your mind. You're kind of a little self-conscious and you don't know 100% what you're doing. They're telling you that something's going to be happening here, but you're not exactly sure. So that's not a problem in animation. So, like I said, there's pros and cons. By the way, Chad Burris, Tom Cruise, excellent example as well. Another crazy person who gets in there and does all those scenes, and you believe like, yeah, he would do it. Jackie Chan, also a great example. You would believe the physicality. Not every actor can do it, especially now. Like there's a great breakdown video about like Western action scenes versus Chinese action scenes and stuff like that, or Jackie Chan movies, and usually actors can't fight. Like the vast majority of actors can't fight to save their lives. And so whenever you see them, whenever in a movie you see an actor punch or throw a hit and they cut immediately to another shot or something like that, that tells you that the actor can't fight at all because they have to do so many cuts to make it look like they're actually doing something. And that sucks. And that's why Jackie Chan movies, you tend to see like longer cuts of stuff. Like it's a longer shot and you get to see the whole the physicality and everything. So it's one of those things. Like I said, for me, I would go something action adventure more than I would go like one of the great American novels, The Great Gatsby. Could they do a lot with it? Sure. Get into like a weird fantasy world there? Sure. Just, I don't know. It wouldn't be my first choice. Can we say? I think that's fair. It could be great, but it would not be out of all the available novels out there. It would not be my first choice. Anyway, I wanted to get those two out of the way, basically because there were little pieces of stories that I'm like, this keeps proving what I've been saying for a while. And now let's talk about the title of this particular episode. Let's talk about Space Jam 2: A New Legacy. Now, I wanted to keep my mind open about this one because I love the first Space Jam. The first Space Jam is fantastic. It's a hallmark of my childhood. Loved it. The song's fantastic. I Believe It Can Fly. Michael Jordan became a hero afterwards. Bugs Bunny. I love the guy. Well, I'm a Daffy Duck guy, but whatever. And there were so many things from that movie that I loved. And I mean, love. It's great. It's fantastic. It's phenomenal. It's exactly as ridiculous as it should be. The plot was actually pretty interesting. And so everything surrounding that movie was great. It was just the right amount of silly, the right amount of serious, all that stuff. And so I wanted to keep an open mind about it, especially because it's coming out on HBO Max and, I can just see it there for free. Well, free. And so I want to keep an open mind about it. And then we got the very first look at the movie. And so here's kind of the first look at how it's going to look. Let me just make this a little bit bigger for you guys so you can actually check it out. So that's kind of like the first look. You can see the silver ball looks kind of cool. It's okay. You see the characters there. All right. It's fine. Whatever. You see LeBron. You see the Toon Squad uniform. Different, updated, contrast the colors. It's fine. LeBron, for some reason, has powers. Or I don't know if it's the ball that has powers or whatever. But, I mean, technically Michael Jordan had a power. Or he just allowed himself to become a Toon. Fine. Whatever. It's okay up to this point. Then we start seeing things get weird. And I have issues with consistency. And this is how Bugs Bunny looks, and at least in one of the first images that they showed. And they made Bugs Bunny 4K, basically. They made him kind of like realistic almost. And I immediately don't like it. I am not a fan of this particular style of animation. Now, generally speaking, I'm not a fan of mixing animation with live action. It tends to not work out. Like the Smurfs movie did not work out. Garfield did not work out. Sonic the Hedgehog did work out, so I'm okay. Tom and Jerry, I haven't seen it yet. I didn't like the trailer, so I can't really judge it yet. But he looks really realistic. Like this is 4K, like the hair and all that stuff. The hands though, the gloves, really weird. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but Tweety Bird, he doesn't look the same way. So it's inconsistent the way they're doing it, which it's fine. It's fine. It's okay as long as Bugs is still as goofy and as ridiculous, and it's still funny, and they keep the essence of the character. Fine, I can accept it. However, and this is a true crime. This is what actually is what's really, really pissing people off. Lola Bunny. Now, I I unfortunately, like, if you're not watching this on YouTube, it's gonna be hard for you to see. But I want you to notice there's kind of there's a few big differences here between the OG Lola Bunny and the new Lola Bunny. Um, I don't know how. Let me see. How can I put this nicely? Okay, I'll say it. I hate it. All right, I hate it. 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 Because again, when did Space Jam came out? Let me just double check. When did the first Space Jam come out? And let me see. Let me see. Let me see. The first Space Jam come out because I want to figure out how 1996. So I was like 7 years old. 7 years old, and I saw Lola Bunny for the first time, and I was in love. I was just in love. I didn't understand women. Oh no, what? How was I? Yeah, 7. I didn't understand women back yet. I didn't understand any of that stuff, but I was immediately in love with Lola Bunny. And I think absolutely every single person who saw that movie was in love with Lola Bunny, or most of them, or the people who had eyes and actual good taste. Like I remember, I have a few lesbian friends, and it was like a unanimous thing. Like, yeah, Lola Bunny could get it, and it's weird because it's a bunny, but also it's like a super hot bunny. So I mean, it's it's an animated bunny. Like honestly, who cares? It's really weird. It's a weird thing because how can I explain it? I personally do not find issue with people finding cartoons attractive. To me, it's like, have you ever been attracted to something that you're like, or someone that you're like, that's not who I should be attracted to, like, or something weird happens for a weird moment, and you're like, oh well, that turned me on for no reason. It happens, and so some people like cartoons. All right, they do. It's a thing. Hentai is a thing, and so I don't judge it. I don't care. And there was a point to Lola Bunny in that movie. Even the music when she came in, the saxophone, all that stuff. Everybody's jaws dropping to the floor. It was fun. It was a moment. Look at the new Lola Bunny, and it's like the ugly little sister. The I remember the reason why I found out about this because I saw a meme, and the meme was like, I'm worried about this man. And so some dude posted the image of the new Lola Bunny, and his tweet said like, what happened to her titties? What happened to her ass? What the hell's happening here? WB, what you doing? Oh man. So it's I just loved it, and I saw it, and it it's weird. It's one of those things that I can't reasonably say why it upsets me. It just upsets me. I saw it and I was like, this is gross. This is like a gross insult to my childhood, by the way. Like my childhood feels insulted. Not me, grown ass man who actually understands women and all that stuff. No, like my childhood. It's like, why would you do that to Lola? Lola had an effect on men everywhere. I'm gonna say it. Men everywhere saw Lola Bunny walk into the room, and it's like, damn, weird that it's a rabbit, but damn, like I understand. Like 7-year-old me understood. That's what hot is. And now you just look at her and you're like, basic bunny character. In fact, she looks a lot like the Tiny Toons character. What was her name? Babs? I think Babs Bunny. She looks a lot like her. So they took away the Lola and they made her more Babs, which sucks. So I'm not a fan. It looks like the less attractive younger sister. And I know the argument out there, like, oh, she was too sexualized and stuff like that. It's a cartoon. She ain't real. All right? She ain't real. You can do whatever you want with characters that are not real. In fact, when you tell us not to do stuff, we'll do it more. Like, there's one of my favorite stories of all time. Well, there's two stories. First off, if you ever played the video game Bayonetta, it's a female protagonist, and she's considered to be very hot. And so when there's people out on the internet who know how to draw, and they like making porn out of characters. And so the creator of Bayonetta told the internet, hey dudes, it's okay if you want to make porn of my character, just respect the lore. And the character is a dom. And so if you're going to make porn with my character, respect her lore and make her a dom. And people out on the internet were like, you know what? We got you, bro. We got you. And they started doing porn or hentai in that case, where she's the dom. They respected it. They respected the lore. Now, on the other side of it, there's the story of the dude who created what's the name of the stupid video game where they're in a city under the water? Chat, help me out. City under the water, and then there's a city in the sky. I'm blanking out on the word. Damn it. I'm gonna look it up. City underwater video game. Because this is gonna bug me. Damn it. BioShock. All right, so BioShock, particularly in BioShock Infinite. So the creator of BioShock Infinite said about the main female character in BioShock Infinite, like, no, guys, please don't make porn out of her. She's like a daughter to me. Please don't do it. And and that led to an avalanche of pornography based on that character. You have no idea the ungodly things they've done to that poor woman is hysterical, because you don't show weakness on the internet. You don't. That dude could not have guaranteed a bigger way for everybody and their mother to make pornography based off of that character. Like, there's no more. I want to draw something just to piss that guy off, because fuck that guy. You don't tell me what to do. She ain't real. All right? She's not real. Anyway, back to this point. I don't even know what my point was anymore. Yeah, Lola Bunny ain't real. So it's okay to over-sexualize things that aren't real. Now, I guess the argument works in the other way, but where it's okay to not sexualize things that aren't real, but still, fuck you, you know? We like the aesthetic, and I see that there's a lot here going on in the chat, so I'm gonna focus on the chat here a little bit. Don't watch Tom and Jerry. Even the boys weren't interested. It does look really stupid. The new Tom and Jerry does look really stupid, and honestly, I wasn't planning on watching it, so I probably just won't. More into the, oh my god, same here. See, the chat gets it. Lola Bunny could get it. She could get it. Most of the characters, most of everybody here is saying, like, yeah, the bunny isn't hot. Eddie loves Judy Hopps. Dario loves Lola Bunny. No issues there. Listen. Not into bunnies, okay? Not into bunnies. I was into Lola Bunny, all right? Was, not anymore. I was, not anymore. And it's because, like I said, it was a particular moment in my childhood. It was one of those things where you discover females, even the animated ones. It's actually funny. A friend of mine, she said that she was in love and physically attracted to Simba. And you can't explain it. She was like, yeah, I had a crush on him. Like, I was like attracted to him. And she was a little girl as well when the movie came out. And it's weird. You don't get it. You're attracted to everything. It's the personalities, the music, is the attitude, it's the look. And so that's the beauty of animation, I guess. But yeah, Zootopia Bunny or Space Jam Bunny. She does. I love that game, BioShock. Oh, so yeah. Thank you, Chad, for that. Anyway, point is, this is very offensive. And if this leads to furry riots, I'm okay with it. Like, I'm okay. I'll be like, you know what? I understand. I understand you being upset. Might join you. Like, I don't consider myself furry. I actually had to figure. I once asked. I once was talking about something here in the podcast, and people asked me, like, what's a furry? And I'm like, I'm not 100% sure. So I looked it up. I regretted it. I did. I regretted it. But because it's there. Let's just say there's a lot more there. Maybe one day I'll talk about it, because I don't want to go back there. I just don't understand it. All right, I don't understand it, but I do understand this. Anyway, moving on. So that's the thing that bugged me in particular. There's another thing that caused a lot of controversy because of the Space Jam 2 movie, and that's Pepe Le Pew. Now, apparently, Pepe Le Pew is getting canceled, right? Because that's what's happening now. And I've been, you know what do you want me to keep saying about this? What do you want me to keep saying? I've been complaining about this for years at this point. I've been saying it's coming. If you keep feeding the crocodile, it's going to keep eating more and more. And now they're accusing an animated character who isn't real about what this is propagating the rape culture. And here's the funny thing. Like I said, it's going to keep getting worse because of one thing. Warner Brothers, you already showed your neck. And if you think that they're not going to go after Bugs Bunny next, you're crazy. Because I remember Bugs Bunny cartoons, and he kind of tends to kiss people a lot. And so if you already did it for Pepe Le Pew, what's your argument against doing it for Bugs Bunny? Bugs Bunny gave a lot of unwanted kisses. In fact, sometimes I do it for fun when I'm dating somebody, just grab them like, mwah! Like it's like ridiculous over the top stuff. And that's where we got it from. That's where I got it from. Bugs Bunny. So if you think that they're not going to try to go after Bugs Bunny next, you're crazy. How many do we have? Like this week alone, how many do we add to the list? Dr. Seuss, they tried to cancel. Well, not they tried. They actually legitimately canceled some of his books. And I'm okay if you don't want to publish some of your intellectual property. It's your choice. The thing that bugs me is that eBay does not allow you to sell Dr. Seuss books. So eBay and Amazon don't allow you to sell Dr. Seuss books. And you're telling me that's not cancel culture? You know what is on eBay and on Amazon? Mein Kampf. You know, Hitler's book? So that's okay to sell, but it's not okay to sell Dr. Seuss. Does anybody else see the insanity here? Does anybody, like, is it just me? Like, I've been complaining about this for years. And also, the Pepe Le Pew thing, I don't particularly care too much about that character. It reminds me, that character reminds me of something that I hated from my childhood. Now, when I was growing up, I remember I used to, when I was very, very little, I'm talking maybe 4 or 5, 6, I used to go with my dad to, when he played bowling, I used to join him. And there were other, I mean, it was a big league, and there were other parents there, and there were other kids there, and there were like the older sisters or the nieces or whatever. And I remember that there was a couple of girls who always, like, they were older than me, and I don't know, like, looking at it as a kid, to me, they seemed like grown-ups. So they could have been 20, 30 years old. But realistically speaking, they could have just been like 16 or something. I don't know. But to me, they looked like grown-ups. Anyway, so they would be in charge of taking care of us. And I remember one in particular who was always like, oh no, this is my boyfriend, this is my girlfriend. And I was like, no, I want to keep my options open. And she would always grab me, and she would always try to kiss me, like, and I was like, no, no, no. And everybody would find it hysterical. That is what Pepe Le Pew was to me. That's what that reminded me of. And so it's more of like the annoyance thing, like, no, 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 not like you're actually trying to rape somebody. Also, if I remember the cartoons correctly, it didn't really end up working out that well for Pepe Le Pew. And if I remember correctly, there's the cartoon that everybody's complaining about is the one with the cat. And I think Pepe Le Pew was kind of the punishment for the cat. Like, the cat was trying to do something naughty, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe she was trying to eat Tweety Bird. I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and check. I think the weirder part is that the cat doesn't have a name. Or at least I don't remember that particular cat. Like, I remember Sebastian. I don't remember her. And so I think she was trying to do something, and she ran into Pepe Le Pew, and that was kind of like and everybody's like, yeah, that's what you get, you dumb bitch. And so, I don't know. But to me, it's ridiculous, because as a kid, you don't think about it that way. It's like it's, again, the same thing as Lola Bunny. As a kid, you're not thinking, yeah, I want to bang Lola Bunny. You're just like, wow, that I like her. I'm not sure why I like her, but I like her. It's the whole thing. I like her. As a kid, you're just like, oh no, no, get off me. I don't want to kiss. No, ew, gross. And that's what it is. It's adults that ruin things for kids, honestly. There's a study. I remember I took a human sexuality behavior and psychology and behavior a long time ago in college. And we read a study in which they gave kids, they put kids in a room, and they put in like a sex doll, like a big sex doll, you know, like the mechanical ones that are like legit right now. And all these kids are like, oh my God, look, it's a giant life-size Barbie. And they were rushing to play with it. And all the parents in the room were like, oh my God, no, we can't let our kids play with that, because it's more of the grown-ups thing. The kids don't think that way. They're innocent. They're like, this is a giant toy. Like the toy that I had small, this is the bigger version of it, and I want to play with it. It's parents, it's grown-ups, we're the ones that ruin stuff. It's our own stigma, it's our own stuff, and we ruin it. Like, if I would have said to my dad, like when I was 7, it's like, I love Lola Bunny. Can I have a Lola Bunny toy? My dad would not have think like, oh, he wants to bang bunnies. Like, he wouldn't. At least I hope. I hope he would not have thought that, because it's the truth, I swear. But it's I guess it's more us projecting on them. And and that cartoon, again, it was a form of projecting, but in the most innocent form. Like, no, get off of me. No, I want to keep my options open. Leave me alone. I don't want it. At least maybe it's just my childhood. Maybe I'm the one who's weird. I don't know. But to me, this all seems ridiculous. And like I said, it ain't gonna stop. Mark my words. They will come for Bugs Bunny next. They will come for Cat in the Hat next. Because you can't, if you feed the crocodile, it will come for you next. This will never stop. And you know what? It doesn't never stop. And it's gonna be weird, but you will probably never, you didn't expect this. The reason why it won't stop is capitalism. You know why capitalism? Because there are companies who, like for example, Disney and Amazon and eBay, where they outsource the whole censoring stuff or removing inappropriate content. So that way they don't have to deal with it. They outsource it. That means that they hire another company to do it for them. It's like, you want to find something that's offensive and just delete it out of here, right? And so if that means that there's a company that gets paid to do that, you think they're gonna stop finding things? You think they're gonna stop making stuff pretend to be offended by anything? No, because they have a financial incentive to keep doing it. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stop doing it now, and then my company will collapse and disappear. No, they're gonna keep doing it. This week alone, Dumbo, Peter Pan, they axed them from the kids movies. I just read here in the chat, Speedy Gonzalez. They're trying to get rid of him too. Like Pepe Le Pew is no longer in the Space Jam 2 movie. He's out of there. I think maybe Speedy Gonzalez too. And you know what? I don't get that one. Like, what did Speedy do? Like, it's a stereotype. I'm Mexican. I thought he was cool. Like, like who gives a fuck? Like, if it's a stereotype, you know what? It's funny. It's a funny stereotype. Like, I mean, what did Speedy actually do to be considered offensive in any way? He wore a sombrero. His last name was Gonzalez. My last name is Gonzalez. I never cared. Like sometimes as a kid, they would just you make jokes about that because we had the same last name as a cartoon character. That's funny. You enjoy it. So, like I said, the issue here is that there's a financial incentive to keep being offended. There's a financial incentive to keep looking for stuff to get offended and cancel them because they get paid. They're going to keep doing it if we let them. So, I mean, and this week alone, we had like three things. Major things that got canceled. Like, big deal. You think this is gonna stop? No. And honestly, I'm tired of covering it. I'm tired of covering it because I've been talking about this for years, and I don't know how else to say it that it's a bad thing. I don't know how else to say it that it's going to lead nowhere good. And it keeps happening, and I don't know what else to say. I guess I'll just keep saying it so that people know and that I think it's ridiculous. But the worst thing about all this, and I mean by far the worst, is that they took away the hotness of Lola Bunny. That is the most offensive stuff. Like, you want to talk about taking free speech? Take away the bunnies. Like, this will burn down a country. I'm telling you, man. Like, this was beyond offensive. And reading here the chat, I think all Mexicans enjoy him being a tune. Mándale arriba, lol. That's what he used to say. Mándale arriba. Like, Speedy Gonzalez. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'll be honest here. I know a lot of Mexicans. And I mean a lot of Mexicans. Not only am I Mexican, I'm a Mexican from Mexico. I actually grew up in Mexico. I was raised there. I think that most of the people that I love are in Mexico. Most of them probably right now. And most of my best friends are in Mexico. I think even most of my audience is in Mexico. Why do I keep doing this in English? I don't know, but it's fun for me. Anyway, so I have never spoken to a single Mexican who did not like Speedy Gonzalez. Not a single one. Most of us thought it was cool. It's like, oh yeah, Speedy, yeah, he's funny. We like him. So, in fact, I think that my parents were excited when he was on TV. So, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you getting offended for other people? Well, again, like I said, it's money. It's all about the money. They're going to keep doing it. And here right now, the chat, people are saying they're Mexican. They love Speedy too. So how about if you just, kind of like shut the fuck up and leave our characters alone, right? Leave our bunnies hot. Leave our characters funny the same way they used to be. And stop, over-sexualizing things that kids are not sexualizing, all right? No kid ever. I have never heard of a single adult rapist saying Pepe Le Pew made me do it. Not like a single one. Like not once. Nowhere. In fact, I'm pretty sure that this all came from a Dave Chappelle stand-up, which, by the way, was hysterical. And that stand-up was to point out how ridiculous it is. And it happened like years ago. I think. And so you took something that a comedian said way too seriously, way too far, and this is getting beyond stupid because you're ruining your own property. And like I said, they'll come for the bunny too. They took Lola's titties, they took her ass, they'll take Bugs Bunny too. The crocodile doesn't stop. So if you keep feeding it, eventually it's gonna eat you too, because you're only making it bigger. So this is stupid. This is ridiculous. This is beyond ridiculous. Oh, by the way, I have the plot for the movie. Well, I don't have the plot for the movie. I have pieces of the plot for the movie. So I'm gonna read that to you because I remember that also bothered me. So I got all that out of the way. Let me just read you what the plot is quick. All right, so this is producer Ryan Coogler talking about the film. And so the general idea was the examination of black fatherhood and how fatherhood could be unique to LeBron James specifically. So I already hate that because if anybody's paid attention to me over the years when I talk about child actors, my general take is that they suck and I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like child actors. To me, they generally suck. There's very few child actors who I'm like, okay, did a decent performance. Most of them suck. So if you're making a movie around fatherhood, that means that there's going to be a lot of kids involved. And if there's a lot of kids involved, that means that there's less time for the Looney Tunes, which kind of already sucks. Also, why the fuck are you making a movie about fatherhood when it's supposed to be a basketball movie with Looney Tunes? Like, I remember the first Space Jam. It had a little bit to do with fatherhood there. It was mostly about how could I describe it? Like the message there. I guess it was about Michael Jordan finding himself again. In part of it, it's because he was also a father, but it was basically the Looney Tunes. They were going to become enslaved by space monsters if they couldn't beat the other team in basketball, and so Michael Jordan had to step up to save the day. So that was the big plot of it. But you know, the big thing is about Michael Jordan accepting that he's a basketball player, not a baseball player, and stuff like that. So returning to who you are, you know, coming back home and stuff like that. So fatherhood, really? That's the plot here. I already don't like that, but let's move on to the other part. He added, there are parents who want to push their kids to do certain things because this is what they do. This is what they do. But sometimes you have to look into a kid and be able to have an open mind and ear to help them become the thing they've dreamed of. So, again, too much about the fucking kid, right? Too much about the fucking kid. First off, LeBron James, nowhere near as charming as Michael Jordan. Let's just putting that out there. Michael Jordan, kind of a charming dude. Extremely charming, beloved by everyone. And also, at that time, the biggest icon at the living legend, Michael Jordan, the GOAT. And so, also extremely charismatic. So, LeBron James, nowhere near on that level. You can argue about basketball and who's better or whatnot, but nobody, and I mean nobody, would argue that LeBron James is more charming than Michael Jordan, and if they do, they're a fucking idiot. Or they just don't know who Michael Jordan is. So, already, not a good start. And it sounds like the plot of the movie is revolving around kids. Kids. The movie is about the Looney Tunes, all right? It's supposed to be about the Looney Tunes and the human star that they come in to bring in to help. Like, why exactly it's happening again? I don't know. But, all right, it's happening again. Accepted. Why about fatherhood? I don't get it. I don't see how the Looney Tunes will help you become a better father in any way. Like, I don't. I don't see how Bugs Bunny is going to make you a better dad. I don't. I don't see how Tweety Bird's going to make you be a better dad. And I don't see how this whole plot about having an open mind about what your kid wants to be, like, dude, you're LeBron James's kid. You don't really have to do nothing. Like, you don't. Your dad's a millionaire. Again, also living legend. You don't have to be anything if you don't want to. You don't. I mean, ideally you want to because, I mean, everybody should aspire to be something, and you should actually aspire to be something better than the previous generation. And so I understand if you're LeBron James, you want your kid to be better than you, but you got to push them and all that stuff. So is the message here that you shouldn't push your kids to being something that you think they'd be great at, or accepting mediocrity, or just not being a dick dad? I don't know, but I don't like it, because again, it's all about being a dad, and I don't see how that relates to Looney Tunes. I don't at all. Maybe it's because, oh no, LeBron James, you need to get that stick out of your ass and become more loony and ridiculous and bond with your kids more. They're not adults, they're still kids, so we need to help you be more loony. Maybe. Point is, I'm not convinced. I need to see a trailer for this still. I need to see like one dude speaking out of his butt. But, well, not out of his butt, because he's one of, like I said, he's the producer. But this is dumb. This is very dumb. I don't like anything that I've seen other than the uniform and the color combination. That's fine. Other than that, not a fan. It's not looking good. It's set to come out on July 16th, so it's still got some time to go. Maybe the trailer's amazing. Maybe I see it and it's like, oh my god, this looks great. I need to see it again. I don't think so. To me, honestly, from what I've seen, it looks like the perfect metaphor for this movie is this image. This was the original. Hot, beloved, awesome, iconic. The second one, it's going to be the less attractive sister. If you're lucky that it's even attractive at all. Because it sounds like no really meat in the story. Nothing that actually makes it sound special, other than it looks colorful. So maybe it looks very pretty, but there's nothing special to it. So, I don't know. To me, like, right now, it just looks like this. Space Jam 1, Space Jam 2. Space Jam 1, Space Jam 2, and this kind of tells you everything you need to do. And no, Michael Jordan, actually cool person, lovable, beloved human being. LeBron James, I've never actually seen anything that from LeBron James to make me think like, man, that dude would do hysterical with Bugs Bunny. And again, I probably never saw it with Michael Jordan as well, to be fair. But I just don't see it. LeBron James seems like a serious dude. Like, I've never seen him actually just go off the cuff and say something ridiculous. I remember there was an interview with Michael Jordan where, there's an interview with Will Smith that they was talking about hanging out with Michael Jordan. It's like, what's it like because you hung out with Michael Jordan. What's it like hanging out with Michael Jordan? And he's like, he's very competitive at everything. Everything he does, he has to win. So it's like, you have a glass of water, it's like, I'm going to beat you to it. If it's like, oh, we're going to meet somewhere, I'm going to be there first. And that's hysterical. The man is insane. And that is hysterical. It translated. It was good. LeBron James, I haven't seen it. Maybe he has it. I've heard that he's funny in, what was it, Trainwreck? I haven't seen that movie. It just didn't seem like my cup of tea. But right now, underwhelming. Doesn't sound interesting. And like I said, the only reason why I was even considering watching it is because I could see it for free. But now it's like, really? There's nothing there. Honestly, there's nothing there to get my attention anymore. So why would it even come back? And like I said, mark my words, it's going to be, they're going to come for the bunny next. The bunny, Bugs Bunny, who kisses everybody and without asking permission in a rapey way. They're going to come after Bugs Bunny. Mark my words, it's only a matter of time. And you know what? Warner Brothers, it's your own fucking fault because you let him do it to Pepe Le Pew. You agreed, you stuck your neck out, and now they know they have the kill shot, and you're fucked. And you know what? When it happens, I'm going to laugh my fucking ass off because you get what you fucking deserve. Anyway, that's it for today. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram and at Super Dario World. Streaming on YouTube and on Twitch Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays aiming at 8 p.m. Today I got closer. I was like 8:09, but they started doing stuff here at the kitchen. Like, I was ready to go, but my sister was like, no, I gotta do something. And it's like, fine, whatever, I'll wait. Anyway, I'm getting better. I'm getting better at the setup. It's becoming faster. I actually forgot to put on, that's why it's so dark. Damn it. Anyway. Chat, thank you for joining me. I appreciate everybody showing up. PC Police have killed Space Jam. Yes, I agree, chat. I agree. It's only a matter of time. Oh, like I said, As always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next time.